Honorable Speaker, I rise to present a very brief report on an oversight visit that I carried out together with the shadow ministers to Inspire Africa Coffee Factory. The Office of the Leader of the Opposition organized an oversight visit to Inspire Africa Coffee Factory in Ntungamo District. I undertook this oversight visit on 11th December 2024 together with shadow ministers. The visit was in line with Section 6E1 of the Administration of Parliament Amendment Act of 2005 that empowers the Leader of the Opposition to play the oversight role and keep the government in check. During the financial year 2023-2024, government undertook to establish a tertiary hub for last-mile coffee value addition in Ntungamo District through the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat in the Office of the President under a private partnership arrangement with the Coffee Investment Consortium Uganda and Inspire Africa Coffee, both privately registered entities. The construction of this coffee value addition facility began in October of 2023 and had been projected to be completed by December 2024. We were told that the factory is expected to produce various coffee products, including instant coffee, drip coffee, malt coffee, coffee energy drinks, as well as beauty cosmetics. However, since this strategic government intervention was initiated, various stakeholders, as well as policymakers, have expressed concerns with respect to the implementation arrangements. Some of these concerns include: 1, rationale followed to establish this coffee value addition factory in Ntungamo. Number 2, the selection criteria followed to procure the private investor. 3, the reason behind the decision by government to support the building of a factory, a coffee factory in Ntungamo District, while not paying attention to other areas known to produce a lot of coffee in Uganda. 4, capital investment. The exact amount of money that the government of Uganda is injecting into this project, because that's not known yet. And 5, projected economic benefits in terms of the anticipated employment opportunities as well as export revenues. Therefore, the primary objective was to further interrogate and verify all matters related to the above-mentioned concerns as elaborated briefly before. During the financial year 2023, government earmarked and allocated 37 billion shillings, that's about $10 million US, in the national budget to support coffee value chain development under a newly created vote 167 in the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat in the Office of the President. Also, according to the annual budget estimates of financial year 2024-2025, an additional 75 billion was provided for in the corrigenda to the budget for financial year 2024-2025 and approved by Parliament to support coffee value addition initiatives. To date, a total of 112 billion shillings has been appropriated by Parliament towards support to coffee value addition initiatives. Some of these initiatives include promotion of Uganda coffee globally through coffee trade hubs and establishment of a tertiary hub for last-mile coffee value addition in Ntungamo District, implemented by Inspire Africa Coffee, which, according to Mr. Nelson Tugume, the proprietor, is at an estimated cost of $122 million US. That's about 451 billion Uganda shillings. It is important to note that these coffee value addition initiatives are not directly implemented by government, but rather through partnerships, such as the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, that is chaired by Mr. Odrek Ruawogo, the Senior Presidential Advisor on Special Duties. There is also the Coffee Investment Consortium, a privately registered entity comprising of about 21 coffee companies interested in promoting coffee production and providing value addition in the coffee value chain, and Inspire Africa Coffee, an affiliate of Inspire Africa Group, a human resource organization initially established primarily to address the challenges of youth unemployment on the African continent. Government argues that the initiatives will significantly increase the country's coffee export earnings through export promotion of processed, ready-to-drink coffee instead of the raw coffee beans. However, since the above highlighted coffee value addition initiatives were earmarked and subsequently funded by government, various stakeholders as well as policymakers have expressed serious accountability, legal and policy concerns with regard to the implementation arrangement of these initiatives. Therefore, it was paramount to further interrogate and verify all matters related to the implementation of these initiatives, to ascertain their feasibility and value for public funds in line with the existing legal and policy frameworks. Let me run through the areas of concern, Right Honourable Speaker. 1, funding and transparency queries. In the financial year 2023-2024, the Government of Uganda allocated resources through the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat under the Office of the President towards the establishment of a modern industrial coffee park in Rashamire Town Council, Ntungamo District. We found that there is no memorandum of understanding between the Government of Uganda and this private entity. So the manner in which money was extended to this entity is not clear. Honourable Speaker and colleagues, it is wrong for taxpayers' money to be spent without any clearly defined binding relationship between the government and any entity, and in this case, Inspire Africa Coffee, and no documentation whatsoever. The proprietor told us that there is a co-investment arrangement that was ongoing between the parties, that's government and them, but there was no clarity on whether this arrangement would result into a joint shareholding, a grant arrangement, or a bailout. We recommend as follows, together with my colleagues. 1, government should come out clearly on the relationship that is existing between Inspire Africa Coffee and government that warranted the disbursement of public funds to this private entity. Number 2, Parliament should stop any further disbursements to this entity until a clear and rational memorandum of understanding is reached at between government and this entity. Number 3, government ought to come out with a clear procedure on how private entities can get government support. Uganda has a lot of young and innovative entrepreneurs who only lack funding. If the government comes out clearly on the formalities, then more Ugandans could benefit as opposed to just a few. The other concern is unfulfilled government commitments. Uganda is currently the leading coffee exporter in Africa and the second largest coffee producer in Africa, having exported 6.13 million bags in financial year 2023-2024, valued at over 1.14 billion US dollars. In order to handle the value additional call, government stipulated under the National Development Plan, NDP3, that 2 modern industrial coffee factories would be established, one in Bugisu and another one in Buganda, because these are the highest coffee growing regions in the country. These 2 factories were to be constructed by the end of June 2025, when NDP3 would lapse. This was a commitment by government in NDP3. We are coming to the conclusion of NDP3, and Parliament has even passed NDP4. But these plans have not seen the light of day, Right Honourable Speaker. It begs the question, why did government prioritize a private plant in Ntungamo specifically, which is part of Uganda, fine, yet it did not even attempt to implement and fulfill the commitment made in NDP3, which was passed by Parliament. Honourable Speaker, government should budget for, as a recommendation, and embark on fulfilling the commitment it made in NDP3 to build a coffee factory in Bugisu and Central regions. The capacity of Inspire Africa Coffee Factory is small compared to the magnitude of the coffee produced in different parts of the country. Besides, it's not practical to expect farmers to transport their coffee from far-flung districts in the country to Ntungamo for processing. The third concern was uncertainty about the exact amount of money so far injected into this project by government. During our visit, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the proprietor was unclear about how much money government has so far injected into this project. So it becomes difficult to establish the return on investment that the taxpayer will get. For as long as this information is unavailable or kept as a secret, people will keep raising eyebrows about this project. In the quest for accountability, we ought to start by being open about how much money has been injected in this project. There should not be anything to hide by government. The recommendation, Honourable Speaker, is that government should explain to Parliament and to the country how much money has so far been injected into this project, the terms of agreement, how the taxpayer will get value for their tax money. The proprietor said the factory will be completed in March of this year. That's next month. I don't know if that is going to happen. We are waiting. And begin full operations the same month, next month. Assuming that gets to happen, the cost-benefit analysis of investing in this entity should be examined. We need to know. There should be clear terms on what is likely to accrue from this investment. Every coin of taxpayers' money injected into this project must be accounted for because it's taxpayers' money. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, let me state this for the umpteenth time. The idea of government bailing out or offering support to private companies is not a bad one in and of itself. The problem has been that for each of the private companies given money, there's no clear procedure on how this gets to be done. And Right Honorable Speaker, I've tabled those reports here at Yak Sugar Factory, Day Biopharma, Rocco, and so on and so forth. Additionally, there is never agreement signed between the government and these private entities to spell out the terms and conditions of the support extended. Most disturbingly is that there is usually no value for the money extended to these entities after several years. For as long as these concerns are not attended to, usage of taxpayers' money will continue to be shrouded in mystery. And there will always be suspicion about these bailouts, given that they are accessed by a few people who probably have connections in government. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What government is doing, whether we are buying shares, whether we are giving them money just to support them, we need an MOU. And then I also want the Committee of Finance, Agriculture, Trade, Budget to take note of the concerns that have been raised by the leader of opposition since we are going into the budgeting process. Prime Minister, you have something? On what? You've just come.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank Law. We've taken note, and as you've directed, Minister of Finance, Minister of Agriculture will be here to give
committees.
The answers.
Committees.
The committees, yes.
Sectoral committees.
To give answers to the questions raised. Thank you.
We actually want them, and on the issues that are being raised, they must report to Parliament, the committees, when they are doing that. Because if Inspire Africa gets money from government, then they should be able to go there and see what is happening. But that first, we must regularize the relationship between Inspire and government and Uganda. Yes. Honourable Member.
The leader of the opposition has had so many of these oversight visits, and he has been producing good reports to this House. Without prejudice to your ruling, I would suggest, Madam Speaker, that you do a formal referral of this report to those committees formally, so that the leader of the opposition can make further submissions and clarifications on these particular issues. And then the committees can therefore formally report. If we allow them to just take note of these issues, we may lose track of the particular issues. It will also help us, Madam Speaker, follow up with your own plea to us. When we were passing some of the budgets in supplementary, I recall you made an undertaking and said, honorable members, please, let's do it for the last time, and we are going to follow up. And we listened to you, Madam Speaker, during that plea. So my issue is to request you to formally have these matters referred so that the committees can do a thorough job. And next time they come here for money, maybe we will not have that pulling of string, because issues would be clear that A, B, C, D has already been dealt with, Madam Speaker.
Doug?
I'm seeking a clarification while Honorable Dur is requesting that you formally make a referral of all the reports that the Right Honorable Leader of Opposition has presented before our Parliament to the relevant committees. I'm sure myself and my colleagues in Parliament, we cannot off-head tell which reports he has presented because he has done this over
Thank you.
time.
Let me help you in that one.
Yeah, I wanted to request that maybe we be given a list, we get to know which is which.
Let me help you in that one.
Thank you very much.
Honorable Leader of Opposition has been doing an oversight in most of this attack. They now inspire Rocco. Did you do Rocco? Yes. Leader of Opposition, I want to request you kindly to bring all those reports and lay them on table tomorrow, and we formally refer them for further action. In Lubowa, it doesn't have.
Honorable Speaker, you said that Lubowa and the Deputy Speaker, so I am thanked as official, but we are waiting for you. Honorable Speaker, I actually have laid all those reports before, but I will lay again tomorrow. I have no problem at all. We shall print again and we lay. Because you see, in the past, for each of those, you kept tasking government to come back and respond. And they have not. But just for the avoidance of doubt, tomorrow I will be here and I will lay again, right, Honorable Speaker?
Yes. Let it be a substantive item.